Hi, this is Aaron at Minnesota Motors, and what I want to do is show you how we go about picking the cars that we do. So I'm inside one of the auction systems, and I'm looking for a Suzuki Swift for a client. So today is actually Wednesday, and I know that tomorrow there's going to be an auction here, and this particular auction happens to be in Osaka. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to search by maker. And you can see they have a pretty big list of all the different makers here, but like I said, I'm focusing on Suzuki Swift for a client, so I'm going to go ahead and click Suzuki and look down here, and there's a Suzuki Swift 5-door. It looks like there's 9 listings for tomorrow. So when we go into the listings, we usually know how much the client wants to spend, and that gives us an idea about what year, mileage, features, that sort of thing. The other thing that's really important that we find is resale value. We store data on how much all of these cars go for. That way we're able to make some pretty strong estimates about how much the winning bid will be on any particular car, even down to certain variables like its mileage, its color, condition, and whether it's manual or automatic transmission. So one of the newer models is a little bit out of budget for a client, so I'm actually looking for about a 2005 or 6, and down here near the bottom I've already found some pretty good options. We've got 3 2005s, and there's a little bit of differences between them all. You can see right away that there are 2 of them are black, one is silver. This one in the middle here looks like that's an automatic transmission, and they all have about the same condition. The one on the top has a little bit better exterior, and over here we can see another pretty big difference in terms of mileage accumulated. So this one here at the top has 52,000, this one's 40,000, and this one's 34,000. So now that we've narrowed it down to a few selections, I'm going to go in to the individual listings and look at the inspection sheet. We'll start with the silver one here and just kind of get a look at what kind of condition it's in. So you can see what it looks like. It's got a front and back view, and then over here it's got the inspection sheet. And on a different video I go into more detail about what these inspection sheets mean. But just from looking it over quickly, there's a few things you can tell right away. One is that it's in pretty good condition all around. And then down here on the exterior map you can see that the tires are in pretty good condition, and that there's a few minor scratches. But keep in mind that when they do these inspections, it's very, very, very stringent. And so when you see these marks here, the A's and the U's, usually those things are so minor that you might not even notice, especially considering that the overall grade for the exterior was a B, and that's pretty much as high as it gets when it gets to about 5 years old. The other interesting point about this particular unit is that it's actually 4-wheel drive. You can see some of the other features here too, that the CD player is there, it's got keyless entry, and the other interesting thing is that it actually has some aftermarket aluminum hubcaps that they've added to it as well. So it's not a bad choice, but I want to go look at the other 2 first before we make a recommendation. So next we'll take a look at this one. And this one is the manual transmission. And you can see right away it looks like there's a couple of other aftermarket additions. There's the fin back here, and looks like the exterior here is also in pretty good shape, a little bit fewer marks. One of the tires on the back left is a little bit less quality condition, but it doesn't seem that bad. And of course the color is black, and that's a little bit more of a popular color. And so now we'll go take a look at the final. Now this final Swift here has higher mileage, but it also has a little bit better exterior condition at 4.5, so it's actually slightly nicer than the other 2. No particular outstanding features in this case. It's kind of an out-of-the-box unit. And it still looks pretty nice. One thing to keep in mind is sometimes it's raining after they take the pictures of these, so it might look a little bit like it's dirty, but actually it's just been raining. So this isn't a bad choice either. So now that we've looked at all three, we can go ahead and make a recommendation for our client. Just based on looking at these three, we know that this top one, because of the higher mileage and the fact that it doesn't have any real additions onto it, but it still has a pretty nice exterior condition, out of all three of these, it's probably going to go for about 400,000 yen. This middle one here, it's got lower mileage, but it's also a manual transmission, and it's got some additions to it that a lot of people might like. So we actually think that this might be a little bit higher. This is maybe 500,000. And the bottom one here, it's got the lowest mileage, and it is a four-wheel drive. But color is actually a major factor in how much a car sells for. So here we're going to probably estimate about 450,000 yen. So basically our next step is what we're going to do is we're going to take all of these listings and send them back to our client, explain what the differences are, and see how they want to proceed from there. Everyone's a little bit different, especially if you're an independent buyer. You want to be really picky about which one you're getting, because you're going through the effort of shipping a car all the way from Japan, so you want to make sure that you like everything about it. Now another option for the buyer is that if he's satisfied with all three of these and doesn't really care about the features that we looked at, we could do what's called a group bid, where we go to each of these auctions, check them all out, and over here you can see that the scheduled times are different for all three. So what we could potentially do is bid on this first one at 1048, but if we don't win it, we can go back and get one of the try for one of the other ones. So this lets us stay flexible for our clients and make sure that they really do get the car that they want.